Hello, BookTube. Today on my 2023 library tour, I'm starting the History Wall. This is the last part of the library tour, and there will be 17 more parts. So, my History Wall has expanded ma- magnificently over the past few years as I've really gotten into history. It is poorly organized, largely by when I got the books. Although there has been some variation in that. I do want to reorganize these shelves at some point with a better organizational system. I just don't know what. If it's going to be by subject, by author, some other way I'm going to do it, I don't know. But anyway, let's get going because, yeah, this could take a while or not. So first up on this tallest shelf is Gay Life and Culture, A World History, edited by Robert Aldrich. This is basically a collection of explorations of gay history throughout the world by various authors. I it's okay. I really need to have another go at it, but I would like to have another go at it. Next is A History of the World by Hugh Thomas. I've had this for a few years. I think I picked it up from the Friends of the Library book sale, and I have not gotten around to it yet, which is probably why it is way up on the top shelf. Next is A History of the World with the Women Put Back In by Kirsten Luchler and Jutta Dinshel, translated by Ruth Ahmedzai Kemp and Jessica West. So this is a history that looks at various historical moments and looks at women's roles in it. So yeah, I didn't get on with it when I read it a few years ago, but it's time for a reread, I would think, at some point. Next is Ancient Civilizations by Christopher Scare and Brian M. Fagan. I'm very interested in ancient history, and every ancient history book I see, I try to pick up. But I haven't gotten around to this. This is more of a textbook than a history. I also have A History of the Ancient World by Jester G. Starr. Which I think I also picked up from the Friends of the Library book sale. Next is a book I read last year for my name tag TBR. This is The Habsburgs, To Rule the World by Martin Reddy. This is a magnificent history of the Habsburg dynasty from its foundations to the end of the Habsburg Empire. I really enjoyed it. Next are a number of books by, or not by, but about Alexander the Great. First up is Soldier, Priest, and God, A Life of Alexander the Great by F.S. Neiden. This is a biography of Alexander the Great that looks at him through his sort of religious ideology. And I really enjoyed it. This is a really good biography of Alexander the Great. I also have the Alexander the Great biography that came out the following year. Alexander the Great, His Life and His Mysterious Death by Anthony Everett, which is also really good that I remember. Next is By the Spear, Philip II, Alexander the Great, and the Rise and Fall of the Macedonian Empire by Ian Worthington. This is also a really good book on Alexander and the Macedonians. I also have Antony and Cleopatra by Adrian Goldsworthy. And by Michael Grant, I have From Alexander to Cleopatra. Returning to the Macedonians, I have Dividing the Spoils, The War for Alexander the Great's Empire by Robin Waterfield, which I have a sweet tooth for the wars of the successors. I also have The Greeks and the Persians from the 6th to the 4th centuries by Herman Bankston. Great State, China and the World by Timothy Brook, which is a really good book. I really enjoyed it. I would like to have more Chinese history in my collection. Next is Age of Conquest, The Greek World from Alexander to Hadrian by Angelos Chaniotis, which is a really good book. I really enjoyed it. I've read it twice now, and each time I've really loved it. Also really good is Technology in the Ancient World by Henry Hodges. I've read this a few times and really enjoyed it. And finally, on this top shelf, Carthage, From the Legends of the Aeneid to the Glorious Age of Gold, an engrossing history of the vanished empire that rivaled Athens and Rome by David Soren, Aicha bin Akbed bin Kadir, and Heidi Slim. This is a look at Carthage, not only during its heyday, but also once it became a Roman colony and refounded. It's a bit dry, though. So that is the first shelf of my history wall. I'll be back tomorrow with this shelf here, and then I'll do a shelf a day until I finish over the next, well, now it would be 16 days. But anyway, I don't know exactly how I'm going to title this. There's a part of me that would just do like Library Tour Part 21 and then the History Wall Part 1 in the, or I could do something silly. I don't know. I'll see as I'll think about it as I upload this. But anyway, BookTube, I will be back later this evening if I have time with a discussion video. And until then, thank you. Have a great afternoon and stay safe.